Hello, in this video we'll solve Natas 30. So as we can see, it is a Perl based challenge. It is a web form with username and password and we have to log in. So we'll look at the source code. From the source code we can see that there is an SQL database. There are SQL queries being run on the database and we can guess that we might have to use the SQL injection. So you can try Google for Perl functions vulnerable to SQLi. You will find many. There are studies done on it, such as the Perl JM2. There are many answers on Stack Exchange. So, if you try to find more about it, even in the documentation of the code function, the code param username, this function is exploitable and is vulnerable to SQL injection. In this, the user can supply a second parameter to code by passing in two username values. Since the second parameter determines how to do coding, this can introduce an SQL injection vulnerability. However, how the second parameter is handled depends on the DBT driver, which is different for each database type. So if an integer is passed, coding is not done, especially in SQL. So all we have to do is write a Python script to feed an array in the second place, which determines the quoting to be an integer. So it is a pretty easy Python script. All we have to do is Python script, and in the password we have to post an array such that the second parameter in the array is an integer, not one. So we will take request, put in the URL, make a session, input the username and password for the Natas 30. The data in the username will be Natas 31, as that is what we are trying to find. We can see that it is searching from users, and the username and password are two fields present in the user. So the password field has the first parameter as a normal SQL payload that we use very often. It will end the earlier string and use or1, which will always return true, and therefore it will return the password. Username being Natas31, it will return the password for Natas31. The second parameter is anything other than 1. Here we have imported as 2. So the quoting will not be done. The quoting that we have been talking about in the quote function is what quote function basically does is it takes away any special character and escapes it if that is present in the field. So if you were to put in a special anything in the password field that is similar to an SQL injection, let's say if we were to put in this, these special characters will be jumped and then the string that will be sent will be this part. Therefore the SQL injection will not execute and the quoting will prevent the SQL injection. So that is why we are trying to bypass the quoting by using the second parameter SQL injection. So we will take the response and then we will print the response. It is a pretty straightforward CTF challenge. So we will run this script, and as you can see, if you read the response.txt, there is Natas 31 and the password for Natas 31 is present. Therefore, the challenge is solved.